Hello, and welcome to the Updates and Enhancements tutorials for November 2016. Let's get right into it here. We're going to start with the changes that affect both Counselor Connect and Counselor Complete OMS users. So we'll start here in the chart notes area. So we're in the Edit Chart Notes screen. There's now a section or an option available to add a patient tag in the same area you're adding your chart note. If you're not familiar with patient tags, the entire purpose of it is to enable you to, well, tag the patient with a certain designation and then search for that patient later on. So an example of that would be a test not treated patient or a patient who maybe you're sending out for medical review. This could also be a patient that's in a wheelchair, for example, or has low memory or low vision or memory loss. Those are all things that you could add as tags for the patient, and then as their situation changes later on, you can add and remove to this list. These are stored within the patient's profile within the patient administration screen. This new tool enables you just to very quickly add those tags on the fly while you're creating your chart note. We did that because oftentimes when you're writing your chart note, that's where a lot of these thoughts come to mind. And this will save you the step of having to remember to go back to the patient's profile and then enter the tag there. So once this is in place, you can click Continue Main Screen or Save Continue Editing, and that will add it to the patient's profile. Now on that same idea, as far as saving, there is a new button added to the floating toolbar that is called, there we go, Back to Main. It functions the same way as the Continue Main Screen, so it'll save your work. So if I do, there we go. And I click continue, or I'm sorry, back to main screen. It will then take me back, of course, to the main screen. It will save what I've done. And as I mentioned before, the tag that I've added would then be added to this patient's profile. Okay. All right. Also in the patient visit screen, within the audiogram, when you're adding audiometric data, if let's say you're entering data into your SRTs or your word rec, now when you switch between ears, you automatically stay on that tab. Previously, you had to navigate back to that tab, but we wanted to make that process smoother and much more quick. So now when you change ears, you'll be actually staying on that same subtest tab. All right. All right, so let's move ahead then to the dashboard widgets. There's some ones in here that I think are really powerful. We're very excited about it. The first two we're going to look at here are the related to referrals for appointments. So let's scroll down here and we can see that we have these two widgets here. So referral type rates and referral type sales. What this lets you do at a high level is look over all of the appointments you've scheduled to determine within those appointments how many new patients were there, how many invoices were created off of those appointments and sales, et cetera, et cetera. And then you can break it down. So in this case, you can break it down by month, year. You also could break it down by the referral type itself. And then, of course, any of these options you can then export into an Excel spreadsheet. Same thing goes for the referral type sales. This breaks it down by month, by referral type, and then also you can break it down by line item type. So if you wanted to see, okay, what was the revenue we had in hearing aids across the year for a specific referral type, you can go ahead and select that, and then it will narrow it down based on that criteria. Okay. And then once again, you can export this to a spreadsheet as well. So like I said, we believe this is going to be a very powerful tool for you. It will encourage you to continually note the referral source on the appointment, and that will let you capture some pretty powerful data going forward. Now, the additional new widget is called Physician List. This lets you, of course, see all your physicians that you have stored in the system. It lets you not only see their basic contact information, but if you hover, you can see their mailing address as well. You can break this down by different categories if you wish, and you also can export this into Excel spreadsheet. So one issue you may have encountered is that members of your staff do not have access to adjusting templates. They may not have access to the physician list screen in the administration section. So this basically brings all that information to the forefront. They can't edit it, of course, but they would be able to see all the physicians and then take action from there. All right, so moving on then, look at the patient ledger and the invoice changes. So let's go ahead and just search for a patient real quick here. The patient ledger feature is designed to really give you the ability to view line items, payments, and claims all in one place. Because what often can happen is the patient has a question about, I should step back for a moment, by the way, the tags that we added, those are all there. This patient already had a few in place, but you can see that The ones we added are still there. Okay, back to the invoice then. So a patient may have a specific question about a service, or perhaps something came up through an insurance claim. When you click on the ledger, independent of invoice, it'll just show you all of the line items the patient has had over time. Then it'll show you all of the payments the patient has made over time, as well as all the claims that have been submitted on behalf of this patient. So it lets you look across all these options, and then of course if there's something you want to zero in on, you would click on it and it will then take you into that specific invoice. So a very quick way of seeing an overview for the patient. Now, with invoices, there's a new feature to help with setting the device status. And what that means is when you're adding a hearing instrument or accessory to an invoice, as it's been in the past, you've had to add them to the invoice and then go back into the devices tab and then note that those devices have been ordered. What this will let you do is, let's say you're getting ready, maybe just had the consultation with the patient, you decided on some specific hearing instruments, and you're ready to move forward, but you want to create the invoice right now. Perhaps you're taking payment or you're just prepping for the fitting. But you want to note that those devices are being ordered. So at this point, you likely wouldn't have this information. You would just scroll to the bottom and say send out for order. And what that'll do is it'll automatically update the status of that device so that you don't have to go in and do it manually. And then when the devices arrive, you'll see them in your devices activity list widget, and then you can take action and update the status on that specific device. So really just a step to save you a couple clicks and help keep things on track for you. All right, so let's go ahead and look then at the schedule. Okay, there we go. So on the schedule now, there is an option for creating multiple visits all at the same time. And this would come into play if perhaps you're working with kids, maybe your speech pathology clinic, and you want to set maybe 10 consecutive appointments all at the same time. So Monday at 2 p.m. you're going to see this kid. You want to go ahead and set all appointments up at the same time. What this will do is it will enable you to decide how many instances there will be of this appointment. So once you've set the parameters up top here, of course, it will let you choose the number of total appointments and then what the rate at which they're occurring. So if they're every 1, 2 weeks, whatever it is you want to add there. The way this is designed to work is that once they are created, each one of those appointments will function independently. So if maybe the 4th appointment the parent need to reschedule on behalf of the child, you can go ahead and reschedule that appointment. It won't be tied to the other ones. Basically, it's just a way of very quickly creating multiple appointments all at the same time. The other option I want to show you here in the appointment screen is the status. There's a new status available now called no answer. So if you tried calling the patient and they didn't have voicemail, it was full, or maybe it was busy, you could just go ahead and select that as no answer. All right. So this covers the updates and enhancements overview for Counselor. Please let us know if you have any questions. We love to hear your feedback. Much of what you have told us, it continually goes into the system to make it better. In fact, a lot of these ideas came directly from you. So please keep the ideas coming. We love to hear them, and we love to make them a reality. So have a wonderful day.